Hi lovers, how you all doing and how's your sex life going? If you have been following the tips that I've been giving, I'm sure you must be enjoying your sex life. You must be having pleasurable sexual experiences by now. And if that is not the case, if you have been a bad student and you have not been following, well, it's not too late. Welcome to the Ember months, and you still have, a few months to catch up. It's never too late. So today I'm going to be giving you some tips as usual, but before I give you the tips, I'm going to be, educating you on something that I know you already know, but it's quite controversial, but still, we gotta say it. So I'm talking about threesomes. Threesomes. I'm sure you've heard that. And I also know that a lot of people have it as their fantasy, A lot of people have fantasies of threesomes, and they just end there as fantasies. Well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to end here. You don't have to keep it being a fantasy. It is achievable. Especially these days, it's more achievable than you can imagine. And a lot of people are into it than you think. Maybe the person you're even sitting next to has had a threesome. 1 in 3 people have had a threesome, even if they are not talking about it. So today, I'm going to be telling you how to go about it, what to do and what not to do, and tips to having a threesome. Okay, let me start by saying that a threesome is also called a ménage à trois. It's a sexual activity between 3 people, 3 consenting adults. That is key. Consenting adults. That is key. So, and there are a lot of varieties to it. The gender, your gender really doesn't matter. Some people prefer, it is fluid that way. In case you are a man, you can decide that, you want another man with your female partner, or you can decide that you want another female with your female partner. And if you are a female, you can have another man, with your male partner, that will make it 2 male and 1 female, or another female with your male partner. So it will make you 2 females and 1 male. And let me say that it's not just single people that indulge. You can be single and have a threesome, and you can also be married and have a threesome. A lot of married people are having threesome these days. They are having, one person to add in the other room to add spice to their sexual life. So now I'm going to tell you how you are going to go about it, or the things you need to put in place to go about a threesome. So the first thing you need to do is to know what you want. Be clear about what you want and who you want to do it with. When I say be clear about what you want, if you are going into this as a couple, be clear what gender you want. Be clear, know whether it's a male or female addition you want. If you as a man, know if you want another man in the mix with your partner, with your female partner, or if it's another female you want in the mix with your female partner. And then be clear about what you want exactly, because there are some people who go into threesomes and what they do is that they just watch. There are some male partners who just like to watch other male, other male having sex with their female partner, And there are some who like to have a female mix and then watch the female also make out with their female partner before the actual sex penetration and all that. So be clear about what you want exactly, because it's what you want that will determine who you are going to get. Because if you want a female who needs to make out with your female partner, you might be looking for a bisexual, female. So you need to put all these things in mind so that you know who to bring into the mix, if you're a man or if you're a woman. And then you also have to be clear about who you want to do it with. There are some people who are the school of thought that, okay, it's better to do this with friends because you already know them, and then there's already some form of affinity, friendship, chemistry, so to say, so you can flow better. But the thing with doing it with friends is that it can get tricky, because along the way, if something happens and there's a falling out, it might also affect the friendship, and then you just lose the friendship altogether. Or someone might begin to start growing feelings and it will affect the friendship and all that. So it's tricky doing it with friends. But at the same time, it's also tricky doing with strangers because you don't know this person from Adam. So there has to be a lot of vetting. You have to check, make sure that, okay, this is who this person is, this is who that person is. So you just really need to know what you want and who you want to do with it. So you have to sort that out before you go and indulge. Then the next thing is that you have to discuss with your partner. That is very key. You can't just throw threesome on your partner because your partner may not even be interested or may not swing that way or may not even want it. Because I know there are some people who can't even be at the thought of sharing their male partners or female partners for that matter. So it's a discussion you should have with your partner first, that okay, you're thinking of a threesome. Is this something that okay you like to add to your sexual activity experience or whatever. So you need to discuss with your partner, get your partner's consent, and you both decide what you want and how you want to go about it before you go ahead. Okay, another thing is that you could use a dating app. In a situation where you don't want to do friends and all that, you just want a neutral person so that there's no funny business. It's just for that purpose. You can use dating apps. It's even better if you use a dating app because in a dating app, you can be specific about what you want. Okay, you want a bisexual, this person, or you want someone who is just for just come once, just for the experience, or you want a regular person who will just be coming for you and your partner anytime you feel the urge or anytime you just want to, spice things up. So a dating app is good like that because you can get those specifics. Another thing is that you have to keep the communication line open with whoever you have chosen. Keep the communication line open because, there are dynamics, of course. When people are involved, things change along the way. So you have to keep the communication line open for your whoever you are intending to be with to be able to talk to you and then say, okay, I'm no longer comfortable with this, or okay, why don't you try this? And then same for you. So it is important. Communication is key for anything that you want to do. Like I always preach, communication is key. So you have to keep the communication open so that when things change or the person is feeling in any type of way or is no longer interested and all that, you can always talk about it. Or if there's a grievance of any sort, you can always sort it out. One very important thing that you must also do is set boundaries. That is very, very key. You have to set boundaries with whoever you are getting into the threesome with. Like I said, there are different types of threesomes. But when you have decided that, okay, this is the one you want to do, you have to set boundaries. It's not one, you have to be clear. It depends on you. It depends on what you want. So if you want a threesome that is going to be emotionally, your emotions are going to be involved and you're going to be entangled and all that, is all up to you. But if you don't want that, then you have to make it clear from the beginning that this thing you're getting into, no emotions involved. And then the person who you are going to go into the threesome with cannot, supposing that you are a female, whether you are female or male, set the boundaries. Let the person know, according to you anyway. The person cannot be calling you at, all times of the day or not even call you at all. Maybe it's only when you need the person that you make the calls. So it's not the person calling you. So boundaries like that. You also have to set boundaries when it concerns safe sex. You have to decide whether, okay, you're going to be using condoms with this person or you're not going to be using condoms. If you're not going to be using condoms, you have to know that, okay, you are all going to get tested and then you be sure that, okay, you are just going to be involved. Just, just the three of you and nobody is going to bring in any outside person. And also you have to talk about sexual acts that are permissible. Maybe you would like to have some BDSM. You have to let your partner or the person you are bringing into the mix know that okay, there's going to be some sort of BDSM involved, or okay, no, there's not going to be any kissing. Oh, this is what's just going to be oral. You have to make things very, very clear so that nobody is infringing on the other person. And you also have to make things like, okay, sleepovers. You have to let the person know that, okay, yes, we can sleep over, or no, there's no sleepover. When you come and then we've had our fun, you just go, or oh, you can sleep over. So, you really, really have to be clear about a lot of things. And I must add that threesomes is not for everybody. It's not everybody that can engage in threesomes. because some people are not emotionally mature, to handle it. And then some people, of course, for religious reasons, and some people just don't even just like it, maybe because they don't like to share. So it's not for everybody. This is just for people who want to spice up their sex life, couples who want to spice up their sex life and feel that, okay, they don't mind bringing in a third party just to spice up, their sex life, or just to make things a little lively. Maybe their sex life has become boring over time, or either of the party is no longer interested in sex. It's just something to spice up. So it's not that it's compulsory, and like I said, it is not for everybody. But at the same time, it is not a bad thing if you choose to go that way. You just have to be clear about what you want and be careful about how you go about it. So, like I've said, threesomes, they are okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You can indulge if you want, but just be careful. There are advantages to it, of course. It's not bad. I know it's controversial. A lot of people, I know, as you're watching this video, you're like, what does she mean? How can you do that? We don't all have to be the same. Everybody's taste is different. Everybody's fetish is different. Everybody's inclinations are different. So what works for one may not work for the other. What works for A may not work for B. What rocks your boat may not rock my boat. So if you are not interested and it's not something you indulge, just stay by the side. But if it's something that you would like to try, so keep watching. One of the advantages is that it helps to make your sex life more pleasurable. Of course, when there's an addition, it makes it more fun because there's another person there who you have not experienced, as against having experienced your partner and you're already bored. You already know your partner's next move. Once you are, your partner comes near you and he touches you this way, you already know the other way is going to touch you. You know where he's going to kiss you. You know how he's going to do it. But when there's somebody else in the mix, it just adds to the fun, because, okay, your partner may be concentrating on that person or the other person is concentrating on you. It's just a nice mix and it could make the experience more fun. So it is up to you to decide that, okay, I want to do this every once in a while, just to spice up things when things get boring, just to spice it up. Or you can decide you want it on a permanent basis, and you, like I said, a ménage à trois. So it's a three-way thing that you just want to keep enjoying. Okay, another advantage is that it boosts the man's ego. In a situation where the man is already feeling like, oh, he can't satisfy you anymore, sex is boring and all that, when there's a new person in the mix, he's not been with that person before, and the thought that is even in a situation where there are two females and he's a male, the thought that, oh, there's another female there and he's able to maneuver between the two females adds to the man's ego and makes him feel like, okay, I'm capable, I'm a hunk and all that. So it's good for the man's ego. Okay, another advantage is that as much as it is good for the man's ego, it is also fun for the woman. No jokes. It is fun for the woman because, she's experiencing something new, somebody new in the mix. In a case where it's another male, imagine the thought of having two males just concentrating on you and giving you pleasure. That is more pleasurable for the woman. Or even if it's another woman in the mix and then you are working together, you are even watching your partner pleasure another person, another female. Some people are hyped by that kind of situation. They like to watch their partner pleasure somebody else. It's not for everybody, but there are some people who get turned on that way. So the woman can also enjoy that. But whichever way, the woman gets to experience more fun in a threesome. But do not get lost, because that's part of some of the things that happen, or some of the disadvantages. The woman can now get lost in it, or now become attached to the person who has been brought into the mix, and that will definitely cause a problem. So as there are advantages, there are disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages, of course, is that emotions can get involved, like I mentioned earlier, especially if it's something that you enjoy. You are enjoying this mix, you are enjoying this other person, one way or the other, and then it's a constant thing. One way or the other, your emotions may get involved, and that creates a problem between you, can create a problem between you and your partner. So, like I mentioned earlier as well, it is not for everybody. It is not for everybody. There are even some women who cannot imagine the thought of sharing their partner with another female, or even men who cannot imagine the thought of sharing their female partner with another person, whether male or female. Although most men who go into threesomes like to have two females, that is another female with their female partner. They are more comfortable that way. They don't like to have another male with their female partner. They don't like to share their females that way. So that could cause a problem. If you have a problem with jealousy, that's one of the disadvantages as well. It can cause jealousy because in a situation where this person you are brought into the mix is now performing better than your partner, or your male partner enjoys the female who's been brought into the mix, and then the original female partner, starts to get jealous that, oh, he's spending more time with this person or he's doing more things with this person. And it could also be the male. You might think that, okay, the male that you are brought into the mix, or even the female, even the female that you are brought into the mix is taking more time with your female partner, and then you start to get jealous. So, like I said, it's not for everybody. If you are emotionally immature, you cannot handle a threesome, because it's for mature people who can be straight, who can set things clear and put things in their place. So you put this in its place and know that, okay, this is for this purpose, it's for pleasure for you guys, as a couple, it's for pleasure for you guys, and you should not, there are no strings attached, it should not affect your primary relationship. And the last disadvantage is that it can cause complications between friends. I mentioned this earlier, that if you decide that you want to do this with someone who is a friend, it can cause complications, in the sense that in situations where emotions start getting involved, or jealousy and all that, it will not just ruin the threesome experience you have going on, it will also ruin that friendship. So that is why it is very, very dicey to have it. It's tricky with friends. If you're going to have it with someone who is your friend, then you both have to be emotionally mature to be able to handle it. If not, it may cause a problem. So that being said, threesomes, like I mentioned earlier as well, is a form of sexual exploration, because people are exploring all avenues these days. They are sexually exploring because people are bored with the conventional things, and there's nothing wrong with exploring, as long as you and your partner are in consent. It's not like you are doing it outside of your partner's consent, or you are hiding a secret to go and do it. Whatever you and your partner decide, and you have consent with each other, you can do whatever rocks your boat, whatever gives you pleasure, as long as you are in agreement and you are not breaking any law. And there are a lot of groups these days, a lot of groups out there. If you really go out and seek on social media and even everywhere else, there are lots of groups. There are people who are, exploring a lot of things these days. There are couples who are into a lot of sexual exploration, doing threesomes, going to maxed parties and all. They are all forms of sexual exploration, and it's all for the purpose of pleasure, spicing things up, so that, because especially for couples who have been together for long, after a while things begin to get boring and you need a little excitement here and there. So this is just another form of spicing things up. But like I said, you have to be careful. You have to know what to do, when to do, and who to do it with. And you have to be clear about what you want, and don't go in blind, like I said. And of course, in everything, you have to be safe, because privacy is also key. You can't just go to meet anybody like, okay. So you have to be sure about who you are dealing with. And I hope this has helped someone today. If you have enjoyed this video, or if it is, it's something that you like to practice, please let me know in the comment section. And if there's any question you would like to ask, also put it in the comment section, or you can send me an email or send me a WhatsApp message on my number that is on your screen right now. So do well to like this video, click the subscribe button so that you can continue to get notifications for our future videos, and also follow us on all our social media handles at The Eagle Online. I'll be seeing you.